Friends, this is KV Ramana, lecturer of zoology. Today we are summarizing the pulmonary volumes and pulmonary capacities. Let us see that depicts various respiratory volumes and capacities. Till now we have seen in the last lecture we have completed about total definitions of respiratory volumes and capacities. But in this, in the graphical representation, how can you remember all the definitions regarding the pulmonary volumes and capacities? By looking the graphical representation, we can understand easily how the respiratory volumes, by adding the sum of the respiratory volumes, we will get the capacities, right? Let me explain about what are the respiratory volumes. Basically, there are four respiratory volumes. One is tidal volume, second one is inspiratory reserve volume, third one is expiratory reserve volume, last one is residual volume. Right? What is meant by tidal volume? When we are in a normal condition, in adult human being, the volume of air inspire, expire during the normal condition is called tidal volume. The adult healthy human being is, he can inspire and expire, that's 500 ml of air, right? So if you take per minute, this 500 ml of air is multiplied by the 12 or 16, because 12 is the number of respiratory rates. That means the number of respiration or number of breathing takes place during 1 minute, right? That is we can call as a respiratory rate. So 500 is multiplied by the 1200, we'll get the 600, or 500 is multiplied by the 16 times, we'll get the 8000. So a healthy human being, the volume of air can respire during normal condition per minute is 6000 to 8000 ml. Let me explain about the inspiratory reserve volume. So when normal condition, what happened? Inspiration, expiration, inspiration, expiration, inspiration, expiration. That means the addition to the tidal volume, the volume of air can be inspired forcefully is called inspiratory reserve volume. This inspiratory reserve volume, not including the tidal volume, excluding the tidal volume, you have to take it. Already we know that normal breathing, the excess amount of air you have to inspire during by forcefully, that we can call as a inspiratory reserve volume. It is about 2500 ml to 3000 ml, right? Next come to the expiratory reserve volume. So now again we have to take it. This is a normal breathing, right? This is the inspiration, expiration, inspiration, expiration, inspiration, expiration. Now we have taken the, what is that? Means forceful inspiration. Then it come to the normal. Again, when the volume of air can be expired in addition to the tidal volume. Is called expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume is nothing but the volume of air in addition to the tidal volume expire forcefully. How much air you can be forcefully expire in addition to the tidal volume is called expiratory reserve volume. Let me explain about the residual volume. Residual volume is nothing but the volume of air that can be remain in the lungs even forceful expiration also. Some amount of air will be remain in the lungs. That is about 1100 to 1200 ml, right? So tidal volume is a 500 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume is 2500 to 3000 ml. Expiratory reserve volume is 1000 to 1100, and residual volume is 1100 to 1200 ml. How can you get the capacities? Capacities will get by the combination of two or more volumes. We'll get the capacities, right? So how can you get the capacities? We'll see that there are 5 capacities are present. The first one is inspiratory capacity. What is meant by inspiratory capacity? Inspiratory capacities includes tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume, right? Tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume togetherly called inspiratory capacity, right? What is meant by expiratory capacity? Expiratory capacity will get by the, what is that? Tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. Both are togetherly called expiratory capacity. What is meant by functional residual capacity? By combination of expiratory reserve volume and residual volume, will get the functional residual capacity. Next, vital capacity. Vital capacity will get by addition of, what is that? Inspiratory reserve volume and tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume. By combination of these three, we will get the, what is that? Vital capacity. What is meant by total lung capacity? Total lung capacity is nothing but the volume of air that will be present in the lungs as well as it is present in the respiratory tract after maximum inspiration is called total lung capacity. This total lung capacity, we have different formulas are there. vital capacity plus residual volume or inspiratory vessel volume plus tidal volume plus expiratory vessel volume plus residual volume. By addition of all volumes, we will get the total lung capacity. We will see in the board very clearly with the calculations. Okay, now, how will you get the total lung capacities by addition of respiratory volumes, right? So here very important. So to diagnose the malfunctioning of a particular respiratory system of a healthy human being or a diseased person, we can easily calculate it by this process, right? Among the total respiratory volumes and respiratory capacities, there are two important things we cannot find by the respiratory spirometer. Okay, now spirometer cannot be measured the one is residual volume and one is functional residual capacity. One is the residual volume, one is the functional residual capacity, and another one is total lung capacity. Because why we cannot measure these capacities or volumes by spirometer? Because due to presence of residual volume. See, residual volume is present in the functional residual capacity as well as total lung capacity also. So that residual volume we cannot find with help of the spirometer. You are very careful. So where the residual volume is included, then that also we cannot find. That is the functional residual capacity and total lung capacity, right? I hope you understand. So these volumes and capacities are helpful for diagnose a particular lungs, that is a respiratory system of a particular individual, right? Thank you.